and others, and to be disciplined to dominate their opponent for 4 quarters. And outside of 2 plays probably in that game, the interception by Bo and then that long run, I really felt like we really dominated that game. Obviously, the time of possession, the ability to rush for 400, 200-yard rushers again, and the ability to control the swing 8 was really good. There's always things you're going to want to work on, but with that, I'll take questions. Yeah, go ahead. Oh wait, that's old. That was my fault. That was last year. I'm sorry. Nope.
Eli, your defense outside of that one play gave up just 37 yards, and I think a lot of it was caused from the defensive front. What did you like from their play today in creating pressure?
Yeah, I thought for the most part we played really good, kept them behind the sticks, were able to create some havoc on 3rd downs. I liked the way Corey mixed it up. Obviously, we played a lot tighter coverage other than the one PI. Really didn't have a lot of space there. I wish you could say everything but one play, but we did give up a big play, and that's got to get taken off the tape. So,
stay in the middle.
Coach, can you just talk about Marquise Davis and his second half, and how key is that to his development kind of going forward?
Yeah, we looked a little on that last drive. We looked a little sluggish, and Jamal started cramping, but that's because we had the ball. I mean, we had 51 plays in the first half, and so for us to be able to have a third back that can go in there and run as physical as he can, I mean, I was really proud of Haygood too, breaking tackles. So those guys are really tough runners. I think our 2 young running backs, Marquise and Haygood, are going to be really, really bright spots for us in the future. And they just got to continue to believe in development. They got a really good back in front of them, but they're going to get their opportunities too. So,
stay here in the middle.
Coach, after last week's win, you identified there was obviously still room to grow in terms of the run blocking.
Yeah.
Today, though, up front, what did you see heading into that SEC?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they did a nice job. We were able to get our outside zone going, which honestly I wasn't sure just because they run that scheme too. But I thought, obviously Coach Moore and the run game guys, Durham and B. Jones and Loop and Jack Abercrombie really dialed up some good stuff, kept them off balance in our 12P. Run game, and we were able to attack the perimeter with some Kevin Coleman stuff. I thought the reverse was a good change of pace for us too. So, I think we handled it well. Don't love where we're at protecting the quarterback. We gave up 2 sacks there and a free runner on a pressure. So we're gonna have to look at that and get that off tape. I know South Carolina's defense coordinator likes to bring pressure, so we're gonna have to get that shored up.
Stay in the middle. One word back.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit about Coach Luber. Can you talk a little bit about what he has done specifically with these running backs to generate the kind of production that we've seen today from the starters all the way down to the depth chart?
Yeah, he's recruited talented players. I think Loop's always had an eye for picking running backs. You look at the guys that we've had here, the guys that he's been able to attract to our program, and then he does a good job of believing in them all week and keeping them fresh.
Go in the middle back.
Coach, saw the thermometer on the field at the beginning of the game up over 100 degrees. What was the challenge with the heat today? How did you guys handle it? How do you think your team responded to it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought our guys handled it really well. I didn't think it was a factor for them until really the second half, offensively, and then obviously we were able to rotate some guys in. I think they just showed us that actual turf surface was 176 degrees right there at the end. So, that's a player safety issue, and we don't really have any way to cool that turf down with those pellets, and so that's why it was so critical for us to move this game up and appreciate the SEC and everybody recognizing it's more about player safety than other things.
On the left here.
Eli, right guard looked like Curtis and Tristan were alternating.
Yep, rotated.
Yeah, just what went into that decision and kind of what are your instant reactions to that?
Till I get the tape, I don't want to make any judgments. But Tristan, I talked about it in fall camp. Tristan really kind of got put behind the 8 ball because Connor wasn't full speed, and then Connor got dinged, so he had to slide to center. But it truly was a competition, and we just felt like there's some meat left on that bone as far as improvement. And you're going to need more guys than just 5. So let's start rotating those guys and see if we can't create some depth in the competition. I was really proud of that 2 group coming in there. I think they ran the ball every play they were in and did a nice job, except for the screen play.
Coach, Ahmad Hardy just had one of the single greatest rushing performances in a single game in Mizzou history. Just what did you like about
7th all time?
Yeah. Yep. What did you like about the way he ran the rock today?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough runner. He has a refusal to get tackled. He's got really good vision. I think other than maybe the counter play down there on the first drive, I think he hit every hole the way you want to. And, yeah, I mean, he just got a game ball. So pretty special performance by him. And, you know, the key for us is going to be able to get him back physically, you know, week in, week out.
Back in the TVs.
Coach, whenever you look back at this 13-game winning streak at home, can you just talk a little bit about the evolution of the home field advantage that Royal Field has become?
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't put a lot of thought into it. You know, I think our team just has an expectation that our fans are going to be here and we're going to play well at home. And you know, it is what it is. That's what the environment that we wanted to create, and that's the expectation. And I would challenge our fan base. You know, the South Carolina game is not a sellout yet, so what are we waiting on? And that's going to be an opening SEC game, and it needs to be much more rowdy and much more raucous than the KU game. All right, this is the SEC, and you've got a really good football team. We need everybody to show up, be early, be loud, create that home field advantage that we know we can, and take it to another level because we know it's there.
Gabe, did you have one?
Eli, have you been a part of a game that you know of that you've given up 4 passing yards?
Nope. But I don't have as good a memory as I used to. Too much aspartame and Diet Cokes, I think.
Hey, I know you talked a little bit about the coverage, but just overall, you know, what did you see in their passing game going in and the way you guys executed?
Well, I mean, look, if I'm going to be real, obviously their starting quarterback got dinged up, and he's a really, really good player. So coming on the road in the SEC environment versus that front, you know, we just felt like we needed to be very aggressive and relentless in our coverage. I don't think we called much zone cover today. I think the first completion they had was zone, and that was about it. And so, you know, we knew we wanted to take away windows and make it tough on him and see if we couldn't get him to hold the ball.
Coach, on your right, Coach, what was your message to Bo after the pick?
About time. Let's get it out the way so people quit asking us all about it and move on. I mean, it was a cover 2. He probably should have moved on to the box to the field, but he didn't. And, you know, the thing about Bo is when he makes a mistake, he owns it and moves on, and that's part of growing.
Right here in the middle.
Eli, I wonder offensively, do you feel like there's something as far as the mentality that you guys had today that you can sort of take from this game, obviously with the numbers and everything like that, but mentality-wise, there's something you guys can take?
Yeah, I mean, discipline to dominate your opponent for 4 quarters. I mean, I think we've got guys who've played a lot of football. We've got a lot of different playmakers, and we've got to be willing to continue to lean into that. You know, I think there's a lot of confidence in our running game, and there should be a lot of confidence in our pass game. So I think the biggest thing we got to do is figure out how to protect the quarterback so we keep them upright.
3 more quick ones, Cal.
You mentioned the South Carolina game next week. Through 3 games, from what you've seen from your team, are you about where you would like to be at this point in the season?
Yeah, we're 3-0. You know, I mean, I think there's always room for improvement. Obviously, we had the close call right there with Marquise extend the ball at the goal line, which we don't do. I mean, that's something we don't do. Obviously, we had the big run, had the interception, had some leak yardage on kickoff coverage. So, I mean, there's plenty of stuff. You know, we had a busted protection in our punt. So there's plenty of stuff to work on and get better. But I liked their mentality going into the game. And you know, I think there's been plenty of teams around the country that go into these type of games, and it's a lot tougher than they want it to be. And our guys made sure it wasn't.
Coach, right over here, too.
Coach, obviously you need to have players ready for whatever comes along, but Matt Dollar's plan this year obviously has changed. How do you measure kind of getting him those reps now?
Yeah, exactly right. You know, we got to get every rep Matt gets is a learning opportunity, and I think he's really been very mature in his approach the last 3 weeks, and you know, I appreciate that out of him. I wish we would have been able to get into some more throws just so he has that experience, but you know, there's part of being a good sport too, and there's part of getting off that field because it was too hot. So, you know, Kirby did exactly what we needed to do to run the ball. But you know, Matt's growing. We're getting him a lot of reps in practice, and you know, that's good for him.
Finish up right here.
Coach, late in the game, Brett Brown getting his first action in a Mizzou uniform in a game setting. What has he meant to the program? Obviously, came back, midway through the season here, and what was it to be able to get him that action?
Yeah, you know, obviously we needed to, you know, that's why we signed him from the free agent waiver wire a couple weeks ago, was to be our emergency quarterback, and again, an opportunity to get somebody in a game. So the first time they have the action, it doesn't surprise them. So appreciate Coach Gleason and Kirby having those guys ready, and you know, appreciate his willingness to commit to our team and come back. He's working on his master's degree, so that's a good deal for everybody.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. MIZ.